Hey, welcome to another monthly studio report for Broken Hammer Games. I'm the founder and CEO, basically writer, project manager, a lot of various things with Broken Hammer. And unfortunately, last month I was indisposed because I found out that I have an allergy to sea cucumbers. Now, how did that happen? Well, there's a supplement that I was offered to try, and it was supposed to have a lot of good benefits. And, well, unfortunately, it turned me into a mascot for Mickey D's. So, yeah, it did not, it was not good. So that's one way you find out you have an allergy is just trying stuff, and all of a sudden, boom, that happens. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. There's not going to be a very major report here because technically, I mean, there's a lot that we've gotten done over the past 2 months, but I can't really show it because it's all a lot of stuff that's basically going to be put into the game that's going to be released. So there is a couple of things I can show for this month, so we will get into that. But let's just go ahead and go over kind of what went down in the month of April and March. I mean, March was a busy month. A lot of Project Two stuff that we were doing. There was a bit of behind the scenes stuff for Dust and Air, Raven's Prayer. April kind of we rolled in on the same basic thing that we were doing in March. We just kind of continued in with there. We also in April, this was kind of exciting. We actually drew up the documents for Chapter 2 of Raven's Prayer, and we got those rolling now. So we got some scenes and like the entire list of everything we need completed in April. So we're ready to transition into Chapter 2. Does that mean we're going to release Chapter 1 real quick? No. We still got some stuff still to do with Chapter 1, but we cannot just sit and wait on Chapter 1 to wrap up. We have to continue to move forward on Chapter 2. So that is what is happening. There isn't a whole lot of major assets for Chapter 1 really to get done outside of music. We are finishing up some expressions here and there that need a bit of tweaking. We have to get the models built now. Literally, that means somebody has to take all the expression work and build the character models. There's probably at least some of the characters going to be over 100 models. So it's a lot of work. It's tedious work. And thankfully, Winx is working on it right now. She has already been working on those. Started in the April going in because you have to actually build a lot of the design for that. We usually, when we do work for our artists and such, we usually are creating single individual assets. We're telling them which expressions to make, but trying to like build out a full model set. That's something we haven't had to hire anybody out to do. Literally, the ones I've done have been me and Georgie, and I know the pain that is. Literally sitting there lining up individual pixels and trying to get them to work. So when we have an artist that is free, and Winx has been free to work on something, it's like, oh, Winx, save us, save us, and she graciously accepted the work. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing those getting done going into the month of May. Now, there's not going to be a huge amount of those that she's going to be working on because some of them Georgie has already done. There's a lot of the smaller characters and stuff; those are already done. Yeah, we've been getting those done ahead of time, but it's just kind of building the models for the rest. Some of the big ones are kind of where we're sitting right now. Um, yeah, so going on into Chapter 2, I wanted to touch base on that as we go into Chapter 2, since we do have the work orders and we have the lists going out on which artists are going to work on what and how we're going to transition into there. Chapter 2 is not as probably the number of scenes is not as big as Chapter 1. We're going to be able to reuse a few scenes, but we do have some content images. There's a few that are going to be really big. We're going to have one of our first major, well, we had like a little airship hangar in Mole that we did for the initial story, but Chapter 2, we're going to have something much, much grander. I mean, it's going to make the one in Mole look like a little tiny, insignificant ant compared to it. So we're going to be going to do that type of stuff in Chapter 2. So that's going to be huge. It's going to be a lot of work. It is a bit of a teaser in some ways. How is that going to play into the story? You'll have to wait and see. I can tell you that there will be airships because literally this is a game about airships based on the Vickers Online. So it's okay to say there's going to be a giant airship hangar. Says there will be giant airship hangars no matter what we do. So that is actually going to be a template. That's what we're talking about when I did the write up blog. Is the airship hangar? That's a template because we're going to have them all throughout the game. So we're going to kind of use this one for Dust and Air, Raven's Prayer as a template for many more others down the line. So it's going to help. It's going to be a major image that's going to be getting work done on. We're also going to be having our homage character. Another one for this one is for a fellow Guns of Icarus player who was killed back in 2017. His character will be getting a reveal. I'm actually going to be probably working with those that knew him best, probably in the next few months or so. And Georgie's going to draw up something, and we're going to pass off the ideas. We're going to work as a group to really kind of get his character right and bring something that his family is going to like. At least, hopefully, they're going to like it. They're going to feel at least a little bit touched that we went out of our way to build this character based on him. He was actually he was one of the community ambassadors in the Guns of Icarus community, so he did rise up there and he helped a lot of people. He had a lot of trouble with some people because community ambassadors kind of got a little bit abused by fans in the community and things like that. But I mean, he always had a good heart and he always looked out for others. So we're looking forward to doing that memorial character, and he will give full reveal on monthly blogs as well as in Dust and Air. There's actually going to be 2 scenes with him, so we will reveal one thing. We're not going to reveal the other for him. Everything else in the month of April, of course, Project 2 chugged away. We had a lot of images that got done, both characters and backgrounds, key images. Actually, there's more key images this month than backgrounds because we're kind of wrapping up on the background development. So that said, I usually show an image, especially for the vlog people. This month there will be just one, and let me go ahead and pull it up here. So this is a character that has been worked on. I think this was going to be one of my showcases for last month, but all that happened, so I couldn't get a showcase. But this is one character that I thought really kind of stood out. This is one that Ingrid did for us, and it really kind of I think she really nailed it overall. I got the clothing, the outlook. This is not one of our major cast members. This is one of the supporting characters in the story, and only really has like maybe 1 scene, possibly 2 scenes at the most that we might eventually do with her. But I mean, she really got the look very, very well, and we kind of were going for maybe a Greco-Roman sort of blend in a character, and she got more of the hairstyle there for the Greco-Roman, plus the outfit just fit extremely well. I mean, Ingrid she goes above and beyond for character designs, and we're always happy to see them, which is why when we're doing like key images and a lot of stuff for Project 2, I mean, we cannot build the key images until we have the characters from Ingrid, because Ingrid kind of has to set the model, set the design, and we want her to get it all set up first before we transition over to John to do the key images on. And of course, John, he just usually comes in perfectly with his style. It's more of an anime style, which is why we're having this clash between both styles, and it's actually blending very well, I think, overall as we're going. And you won't have like a lot of different artists where it's going to be, oh man, that image is not right. You're going to be going from one style to the other, so it won't be as distracting. But we're very glad to have them both. We're glad the progress that Project 2 has been on. As far as that, month of May is going to be shifting. We're going to have probably some big music talks going into the month of May, not only with Gibbon but also Sean. We're going to have to see going into May, and we're just going to give them the benefit of the doubt, see what we can get going, how we can get it going. And it is possible we may have to bring in another person for the music, pending on their schedules. We don't really want to do that, but we gotta keep things moving, so we don't want to let this sit forever. And we do have, actually, that's one of the things that we've had the most in our emails emails people who are like musicians and like, hey, we have music. We'd like to work with you guys. He's going to say, well, we have musicians, so I don't know. We might be hitting some of them up. If any of them are watching this, then yeah, shoot us an email, updated work if you have any. Show us what you got. If it's not going to be for Dust and Air, we might have it for Project 2. This Project 2 is, I mean, we do have, we're wanting Sean for it, but if his schedule is not going to work out and if things fall through on that end, then we're going to have to move forward. And we will bring in a new musician for that project. So, anyways, that's it for the month of April. Thanks for joining and see you in the skies. Jenny.